They call it moving day, and how much did things move here? Moved in India's direction early in the day for 2 overs, then moved only in one direction as Jamie Smith and Harry Brook piled on 300 plus runs, and then a sudden collapse. Varun Aaron will help us unpack this heck of a moving day at Edgbaston. Varun, what was that?
Yes, I think I've got motion sickness with the amount of moving. Look, India started off really well, got 2 early inroads, which everybody wanted, and the moment they got that Stokes wicket, I think they got a bit too ahead of themselves. They started all sorts of plans. They went from plan A to plan B very quickly. Too many bouncers bowled, which let them off the leash. Especially Jamie Smith. They tried that short ball ploy, which worked against him at Headingley. Didn't work here because the wicket was too slow. He got away with quite a few runs just before lunch. And the moment they came back after lunch, there was a lot of negative bowling from the spinners and from the fast bowlers. Yes, that did help India claw their way back when it comes to the run rate. The game didn't go away. And then the moment they got the new ball, there was a huge collapse. 20 for 5, something which we generally see India do in the previous game. But this game, it was England, and that just shows the moment you go and attack the stumps as a fast bowling unit in England, you're always in the game. I think that's the template which India should follow for the rest of the tournament.
Let's go straight to that passage then, because that dramatic collapse of England losing their last 5 wickets for 20 runs almost immediately after the second new ball came into play means that India, with the 2 new balls, 3 for 25 in the first 7 or 8 overs on day 2, and now this. Siraj and Akashdeep, how much do you compliment them for this performance?
I mean, anything I say would be an understatement because Siraj obviously was bowling really well last game. He didn't get the rewards, a few close calls here and there, just a lot of beats, but just couldn't get the wickets, and that happens sometimes. And I'm glad he wasn't disheartened. He came back with the same energy, with the same rhythm, and attacked the stumps. And you've got to attack the stumps in England. Akashdeep, again, one of those bowlers who gets it to nibble off the surface both ways. He bowls a very good length, and he's a skiddy customer, so even if he hits back of length, it really doesn't bounce that much, doesn't give the batsman that much room to work with. But yeah, Prasidh Krishna again was a bit expensive. So India are going to want to plug that gap in the second innings, and Prasidh himself would want to come back strong to see India through when they bowl again.
Worth focusing more on those 2 heroes though, because it's not often that the opening bowlers take 10 wickets in a test. The last time it happened for India was all the way back in 1983, and that was an instance where Kapil Dev took 9 wickets and Balwinder Sandhu took 1. But Akashdeep, you've mentioned what he did. Mohammad Siraj, we spoke briefly about how him rising to the occasion and leading the attack in the absence of Bumrah. Quite the interesting nuggets on the broadcast and on social media of how Siraj's numbers are way better when he plays without Bumrah.
Yeah, there is always that dependence on Bumrah, even subconsciously. You feel that if I don't do it, Bumrah might do it, and everybody's looking up at him, but then everybody forgets to look at themselves in the mirror, I would say, and say that, you know what, even we can do it. We have it in us. We're playing for the country, and there's a reason we're playing for the country, because we're good enough. And Siraj is more than good enough. Really good bowler. He can bowl on any wicket. He's got the pace when he wants to. He can, for example, that Brent Stokes wicket today surprised him out of nowhere, and he can he can swing it away and also nibble it back into the stumps. So brilliant bowling by Siraj. Akashdeep was a good lieutenant to him today. Got 4 wickets. He would have been wanting to get that 5, but Siraj got 2 wickets in the last over and claimed his 6 wickets.
Yeah, 6 for 70, the second best figures for India in tests at Edgbaston, and the best since Chetan Sharma's 6 for in 1986. Before we move to England's batters, Prasidh Krishna, 13 overs, none for 72. 5 overs, none for 50 in the opening session, and it's becoming a disturbing habit.
Look, it's also the plans he's been told to execute. So if the captain's going to tell you, or the management is going to tell you that, Prasidh, you've got to bowl short balls on a slow wicket, the odds don't favour you. So look, when he came back after lunch, he bowled a better length, and then he constrained them to a lot fewer runs in the second spell. And I would want him to bowl that length instead of bowling a complete short ball plan all the time. I think he's a good enough bowler to get wickets from that length.
India will hope for that in the second innings, but must shift our attention to those England batters, because 9 of England's 10 wickets have contributed barely 100 runs. That they are somewhat in this contest at all is down to that 300-run association between Brooke and Smith. And the batting, especially from Smith in that first session, was a sight to behold.
Absolutely, Smith is a really good batsman, and he's just showing why the management is putting so much confidence in him. To drop Foakes is no easy feat, I would say, because he's a really good keeper. But Jamie Smith is a serious batsman with the white ball, with the red ball, and he's getting that white ball kind of mold into the red ball, which McCullum and Stokes want. If you see the way he's played, high strike rate, doesn't really give the bowler too much of a sniff. You have to really be on the money to get him out. However, I see a weakness. His bat does come down in a slight angle. He can be susceptible to the ball which comes in, but the way he's batted was just brilliant. Also, a lot of short balls did help him along the way, but that takes nothing away from one of the best innings by an English keeper.
Yeah, imagine walking out to bat, having seen your two senior most batters in the side fall back-to-back deliveries. Your side is trailing by 500, 5 down, and you have 100 before its lunch, which was the third fastest 100 for England in men's tests. Quick thought on Harry Brooke. Out of 99 in the last test, went the distance this time.
Harry Brooke has so many 150 plus scores, and this was his slowest 150. That's incredible. When you have your slowest 150 plus score with a strike rate of 70, that just says so much. He plays at a serious pace, doesn't really let the bowler settle down. The moment a new bowler comes in, both the batsmen really attack them, especially the moment Washi came on, if you remember. Bowled a really good ball, drove him for 4, then bowled a ball which was tossed up, that goes for 4 as well. So as a bowler, you don't have too much to work with these kind of batsmen. But then again, they play a high risk kind of game, which also gives you a huge sniff as an opposition.
What is the sort of score you are looking at from an Indian perspective? You know how England bat, you know what the surface is. What is safe, if at all?
I would love to see India score at least between 350 to 400 runs, because they're batting at a serious pace. The English bowlers are tired, and it's not like India can't play baseball. India can as well. You know, they've got some seriously accomplished T20 batsmen. So if India score maybe 350, 400, and you add up that 180 on top of that, all the best to England trying to play baseball and chase close to 600 runs on the last day.
600 in a day, or about 100 overs. It'd be a sight. Varun Aaron,
Will be a sight.
I hope you get this call right. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Pleasure having your company. That does it on day 3 of the Edgbaston test. Which way will this test go now?